Hi everyone, Crazy Keto Guy here. It's week 20. I wasn't sure if I was going to make a video this week, but there were a few things I wanted to talk over. Can I just say one thing really quickly? I'm a little bit OCD about certain things, and one of the things I'm OCD about is my glasses. I think I've got a wonky head. I don't know if I have to move my head, move my glasses, but my glasses always seem to be skewy and it bugs me. So I apologise in advance if I get a little bit distracted by my wonky glasses. So wasn't sure if I was going to make a video, but there were a few things I wanted to talk about. I'm not sure if anyone even watches these videos, so who knows, but maybe in years to come, in 100 years time, it will be proven that I was ahead of my time and a keto superhero, and people will watch them. I don't know, or Thomas the lawyer will tweet me or shout me out and it'll go mad. So where to start? So I bought or had made some t-shirts. There's a company that I've used in the past on eBay. When I needed a t-shirt for a particular business idea / brand, they made me a t-shirt. And the reason that I chose them is they were the first company that I found in the UK that printed on the front and printed on the back. And what I basically wanted is like one of my slogans on the front, and then on the back neck at the top, I wanted a website address. Well, as I say, as we know, 20 weeks into my keto life, a few weeks back I set up or created the character Crazy Keto Guy. Originally I played around with a few names: That Keto Guy on its own, The Keto Guy, but everything had gone. Basically domain name, social media had gone. And then I, by chance, because someone commented how crazy I was getting about keto, looked for Crazy Keto Guy, and lo and behold, everything was available. So I now own the .com domain. I have social media platforms on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Instagram. I might had one or two more. I'm not sure yet. But certainly I think as we grow, as I get followers and people that are actually interested, in my journey, if you like, more so, and keto and the relationship I view it with diabetes, then obviously I might add a couple of other things like Pinterest and maybe one or two others, I'm not sure. Anyway, so I had some t-shirts made up, two, both in black. They were for the gym, motivational t-shirts with, sort of motivational slogans on the front. And the idea is on the back, it would have hashtag the best version of me. And then under that, the domain name www.crazyketoguy.com. Now, please don't rush off to crazyketoguy.com because there's nothing there at the moment. It's just a domain name. Anyway, I was all excited. They turned up. I did a reveal in one of my last couple of videos. I can't remember if it was the last one or the one before that. And I got all excited until I noticed on the back, instead of www.crazyketoguy.com, the company had put www.crazyketguy.com. Now, for those that don't know, ket is a drug. It's ketamine. And I don't want to be the crazy ket guy. I've never done drugs in my life. So you can imagine how distressed I was. Long story short, I contacted the company and they agreed to redo the two t-shirts, obviously free of charge. I asked them what I should do with the current t-shirts, and they said they were no good to anyone except me, so I was more than welcome to keep them. So I took a permanent marker and I blacked out the domain name. So now on the back of those two, it just has the hashtag the best version of me. Whether that will wash off over time and I might have to keep redoing it, I don't know, but it's effective. If you look really close, I guess you still see it, but it's effective. And the new t-shirts, which I have checked ahead of the reveal, do actually all say the right thing. So just quickly, so I don't know how good or bad you might be able to see this, but this was one that I had made: harder, better, faster, stronger. Trying to think of the name of the group that did the song, something punk, but that was basically, I'm not sure if they're showing it very well, the best version of me, and you probably can see the crazy ket guy bit. I might, no, that, yeah, I mean, normally you can't, it's only when I go really close, because I have a super high definition camera. So yeah, best version of me on the back. And now the new three have turned up. There's a little add-on with this reveal, in as much as the third t-shirt. So again, we have the same one that I've just shown you: harder, better, faster, stronger. And again, on the back, best version of me, crazyketoguy.com. That's on that one. Brilliant. That's on this one. This is a Japanese proverb, obviously not in Japanese, but translated, the finish line is never the end. And it says underneath, build the belief, which is saying completely unrelated, but I also find it motivational. And then again, on the back, the best version of me, crazyketoguy.com. Remember, as I said, as of today, the 12th of November, there's no site. So unless you're viewing this in the future, please do not go to the website. Or go to the website, I don't know, it's up to you. So this one is the third t-shirt that I've decided to have made up, which just simply says, is that straight? And here comes my OCD. Well, he's done it slightly wrong again. Can you spot the error? So anyone that has seen my Crazy Keto Guy before will know that it's the guy bit that's in red and not the crazy bit, but I'm all right with that. That's okay. I'm not going to freak out. Carbs are bad underneath, and then on the back, same thing, the best version of me, Crazy Keto Guy. So we're in agreement, everything's good. Oh, and they've made another mistake. Oh dear, I'm seriously going to have to sack this company off. And this was the add-on bit I was hoping, but they obviously didn't read the order. So I'm just going to sigh, basically. The other two t-shirts and the ones that come before, I deliberately ordered in 3X. Now, when I started my keto, I used to buy stuff in 4X, but to be fair, it was super baggy. It was just because I like to hide my shape a little bit, and it was comfortable. I got 3X for all of the other t-shirts, and I still find, obviously, where I've lost just over 2 stone, I guess, you know, I find them super baggy still. So deliberately I said I wanted this in a 2X, but I'm pretty sure, let me just double check, it's a 3X. So that test won't work. I think maybe what happened is he knew that everything else had been 3X and thought it was a mistake on my part and corrected me instead of asking me. He assumed, and as we know, it makes an arse of you and me. Anyway, so yeah, that's the t-shirts. My plan is to get 2 a month, all motivational stuff or relating to Crazy Keto Guy stuff. And hopefully, as we progress through the journey, they'll come down in size. Definitely the next 2 that I order in December will be 2X, and I'll underline that and make sure he gets that bit right. Moving on, I've got a list. You'll see me referencing it. Blood sugars and ketone readings. So again, my number 1 reason for starting this journey was to manage my blood sugars. And before I started on the journey, my blood sugars, my last HbA1c prior to ketone was 12.5. I can tell you the ones before that were even higher, as high as around 15. 12 weeks into my ketogenic diet and my intermittent fasting, which had kicked in by then, they were down to 6. So pretty much around what a normal person's would be. Now, I'm in, if you like, the next batch of 12 weeks, the next quarter. And I take my blood sugar and ketone readings 3 times a day. I do a morning one first thing before I've eaten. I do 2 hours roughly after brunch, whatever time brunch might be. And then I do 2 hours after dinner. Again, whatever time dinner may be. And it does fluctuate. I am fairly fluid on my hours. So I've been noticing that my blood sugar readings are a little bit higher than what they were 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. Now, one of my medications has come down another couple of units since then. My insulin has come down from 8 to 6 now. I'm not going to make any further reduction on my tablet form, my glycoside and my metformin, and I'm not now going to make any further reduction on the insulin. Originally, I was trying to come off my insulin by December, but I've now decided, because I intend to have some cheap treat days over Christmas, that it's probably not the right time. So I'm gonna look to come off my insulin actually by February 2020. That gives me a month back after the Christmas and New Year fallout, where hopefully you know, any minor damage, I'm not going stupidly crazy, but any little minor, put a few pounds on maybe, whatever, I'll obviously address then. But it would be nice to ultimately come off of it. So as I've been doing these results, I have noticed that they're probably 1.5 more, and I've not had so many low ones where I was having lots around 5, 4.5, like hypo territory. I've not had any of those pretty much. Now, I've not really decreased training. I've not really increased the amount of food I've been eating. I'm struggling to find out in my head where that's come from. It's been the last 3-4 weeks. I did wonder if I had a virus, a bug or something that was inflating my blood sugars. I've definitely not started having anything that I wasn't having all along. It's not like I've added a new supplement or anything like that. So I'm a little bit unsure as to why. But yeah, I just think when I have my next HbA1c, which is the 17th of December, about 5 weeks away, I'm thinking the result, if it's under 7, I'll be happy still. But I just have a sneaky feeling that it might even creep over 7. So we'll keep an eye on them. We'll update you as the weeks go by, and obviously ultimately when we have the HbA1c, why can't they call it something simple? We'll let you know what the results are. Training and outside the box. So training is still going good. I do a gym session twice a week. I did do a gym session a little over a week ago, and believe I overtrained to the point where I think I nearly killed myself, basically. I had blue lips, and I'm pretty sure that's not a good sign. It's definitely not a good look, but pretty sure it's a bad sign of a lack of oxygen, I believe, in the body. To the heart, maybe, I don't know, not a doctor. Anyway, since then I've had 2 more gym sessions, scheduled gym sessions I do every Monday, every Friday, and they've been a lot more controlled, and I felt so much better for it, so that's good. I did subsequently, on the back of the one that nearly killed me, not do any home sessions at all for probably the last week and a half. And today was the first day back on the exercise bike. I took it nice and easy again. I've done 2 of 3 sessions. The other session will be later tonight, after my dinner and everything, or maybe before my dinner, I haven't decided. So yeah, back on doing the home sessions. I think the more interesting one that I just want to quickly talk about is the outside of the box part of that last title. So all the gym stuff's going great, home sessions back in, so great. But I have, because of certain people that I follow on YouTube mainly, but also Twitter and social media in general, I've stumbled across certain things and I thought, I'll try it, I'll give it a go. Now, some of it might sound a little bit out there. It's definitely outside of the box, as the title suggests. But I thought, why not? What harm can it do? So the first thing I was doing anyway, which is what they call hypothermic conditioning. I'm not going to spend too much time on each one, but basically, if you go to a sauna, whether you've done an intense workout or you just go straight to the sauna, it gets your heart racing. It basically gets your heart racing to the same pretty much level, if not even higher than the actual workout. And there are some benefits that happen when heat, the hotness of the sauna, and that's why I say sauna as opposed to steam room or hot tub or hot bath. All of them things would have some benefit, but if you want to achieve the best results, you're talking about a sauna. Basically, the heat is a stressor, and the body is basically going, what is going on? What is going on? We're hot. We're hot. Ooh. And it causes a reaction in the body, and this is the science bit. And I'm not going to try and tell you the science bit because I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professor. It's only stuff that I've seen. The person that I would reference if you want to hear more about hypothermic conditioning, as I'm terribly out of focus, is Dr. Rhonda Patrick. I think she may have even coined the phrase, but she talks about it. And now the heat as a stressor sets off heat shock proteins in your body, and that is a good thing. Now I'm going to give you my basic understanding of it. It basically means that those heat shock proteins repair proteins in your body that have lost their 3-dimensional structure, and that's a bad thing. But yeah, so heat stress sets off heat shock proteins, and they will then repair proteins in your body. I think I've got that right, but Dr. Rhonda Patrick, hypothermic conditioning. So I do that anyway after my workouts Monday and Friday, and I do try and get a 3rd session in. They did a massive study on it in Finland, and the all-cause mortality rates dropped drastically for different groups that were using the sauna at different amounts of time, the amount of times a week and the time duration they were in the sauna. So I would say optimally, because we're not in Finland where they can probably walk outside their house and there's a sauna next door, or in their back garden even, I would say optimally 4 times a week. If you can do it 4 times a week, I think you're in a very good place for promoting heat shock proteins and setting off other, I believe they're hormones. The other one you can Google is called FOXO3A. And again, trust me, that is something that is very beneficial, apparently. So moving on, I then discovered the flip of that coin called cryotherapy or cold therapy, which is basically taking your body and making it very cold. And surprisingly, that also is deemed as a stressor, and that causes cold shock proteins to go off in your body. And again, there's a whole bunch of benefits. Feel free to Google or YouTube cryotherapy or cold therapy. And again, like with Rhonda Patrick for hypothermic, I would reference Professor Benjamin Bikman, B-I-K-M-A-N, who is a professor at Brigham Young, and talks a lot about cold therapy. I think one of the biggest benefits, and what I'm hoping, and here we go, we're going to get into the science bit again, is it is suggested, and there is some scientific research that's been done to back it up, that it can help not turn white adipose tissue, which is basically your unsightly fat, into brown adipose tissue, but it can make white adipose tissue act like brown adipose tissue. Now, the difference between the two is white adipose tissue in your body wants to store itself. That's why we get fat, basically. Whereas brown adipose tissue is kind of crazy and wants to cause heat and explode, and boom, it's very active. Now, unfortunately for us adults, as we get older, we end up with less and less brown adipose tissue in our body. It's more a baby thing. In fact, for a long time, people believed that as soon as you got to the age of about 7 or 8, you didn't have brown adipose tissue in your body. But scientifically, medically, it's proven we do. It's just a matter of activating it and also encouraging the white adipose tissue, the unsightly fat, to act in a similar manner. It's called beiging. I always say it and think of China, but this is in the colour beige. You're turning white into brown, basically, or getting white to act like the brown adipose tissue. And the benefit of that is you burn more calories, you burn more fat, you become leaner. So that was, if you imagine my journey, the very start was the ketogenic diet. Then after a couple of weeks come intermittent fasting, mainly through my love of Thomas DeLoyer videos where he talked about intermittent fasting so much, and how he sort of viewed it like hand in hand. Ben Bikman talks about intermittent fasting. Dr. Jason Fung talks about intermittent fasting. So there were a lot of people that I followed that were talking about intermittent fasting. So very quickly on my journey, within a couple of weeks, I was doing intermittent fasting. And then probably 4 to 6 weeks ago, I brought in, or realized I was doing hypothermic conditioning, and then brought in the cryotherapy, cold therapy. Now, since then, there have been 2 other things that I want to mention. And again, I'm going to sound as mad as a hatter, but remember, I am crazy keto guy. I started listening to Tiberian mantras, chants, monk chants. And one in particular, which I'm actually listening to in the background at the moment, is called Om chanting, O-M chanting. Now, supposedly, again, I can't prove it, it's supposedly the sound of the universe. All I can tell you is when I listen to it, it grounds me, it makes me calm. And if I actually do the chant along with them, it really does take me to quite a happy place. So again, I could be completely off my head, probably am, but I'm finding it beneficial. And the only other thing I want to mention on that subject quickly is I've also recently started doing what they call contrast showers. Now, this is a guy, I'm going to have to reference his name, I do apologise, but he's a fairly new person on my list of people I follow, called Ray Cronice. I'm probably saying his name wrong, I apologise, Ray, if you ever get to see this video. He's an ex-NASA scientist who basically lost a shed load of weight by intermittent fasting and cold therapy. Didn't train, didn't hit the gym or anything like that, just purely intermittent fasting, and well, quite extended fasting in fact, because the last video I see of him, he was just finishing a 21-day fast. And I'm not recommending anyone does a 21-day fast. That's a long journey to get to the stage where you'd be able to do that, in my opinion. Um, but he talks about one of the things that he does called contrast showers, where you basically stand in a shower for 10 seconds with it on hot, and then you flick the switch and go 20 seconds cold, and you repeat that 10 times, always finishing on a cold cycle. Now I can tell you, I've been doing it at the gym. I've not been brave enough to do it at home, but it really feels good. Now I'm building it up. It's hard to calculate. I haven't got a watch or anything. I haven't got my phone where I can look at the time. So I'm kind of doing it in my head, and you do occasionally kind of lose track and what have you. But I'm up to 5 at the moment. So I'm not at 10, I'm halfway there, but probably doing slightly more than half durational wise. And I feel amazing at the end of it. You know, I've already done a gym session. I've already done an hour with my little routine that I have in the sauna and the steam rooms and what have you. And normally I'm feeling a bit by that stage, very drained. I can tell you that once I do my contrast shower, I come out of there feeling like, hello. So again, there's supposed to be benefits. I haven't really researched it enough, but I thought I'd start doing it anyway. He's a NASA scientist. What can go wrong? And it makes me feel amazing. Just want to actually rewind, because just remembered that I didn't say my cold therapy. There are various ways you can do cold therapy, and I think some of them are braver than others. So there's a lot of cryo chambers and cryo rooms. Cryo chambers are the ones where you sit like up to your neck or stand up to your neck, and then everything below is minus 166. You do about 3 minutes. It's very expensive. The place I found that did it in nearest to me is £65 a session, and they say you need 2 sessions a week. So you're basically paying £130 a week for 6 minutes. £600 a month? Nah. You can do cold baths, you know, put a bath, put some ice in it, jump in. They're reckoning to get the same effect as the cryo chambers, you have to do 20 minutes twice a week in a nice cold bath. Again, not for me. That's a brave thing. Wouldn't be doing that. So I do what I think is like the cheap version, cheap, not cheap, which is in my room, window open, fan on if needed. I've actually got 2 fans if needed. And even to make it more extreme, I also douse myself in water at the end. But they're saying to get, again, similar results, you need to do 2 hours a night. And they're saying to do it for 6 weeks. And I don't know what beyond that, but to really get the benefit. And again, as I said earlier, it's all about turning or getting white adipose fat to act like brown adipose fat, the beiging. So that's the training stuff. I want to finish with a rant. And this is a rant against Facebook forums. Now, because of my diabetes, I signed up to a type 2 diabetes UK support group. I also, because of my love of intermittent fasting, signed up to an intermittent fasting group, the 16/8 support group. And I also signed up to a couple of ketogenic groups, keto groups. In the past, probably 5 days, I'm going to say a week, in the past week, I've been banned from 3 of them. The first one to ban me was the diabetes, type 2 diabetes UK support group. I'm probably getting the name wrong, which probably isn't a bad thing, because then I can't get sued for libel or slander, whichever one it is. Because I promoted, not overly so, but I endorsed the ketogenic diet. Somebody asked the question, is keto good for us diabetics? And I posted hell yes, and basically a little brief on my story. And then one of their admins, a guy who apparently is a nutritionist, jumped in and tried to destroy keto completely. And I found this quite scary, that in a group that are supposed to be there to support and help diabetics, they could be so negative towards you know, something that obviously is helping a lot of people. I would say that 9 out of 10 people that commented on the post, and there was quite a few, were on the side of a low carb diet or a ketogenic diet. I understand the two are very different. But anyway, a discussion ensued. I got a 36-hour ban where I couldn't post. When I come back, I simply messaged the head admin to ask exactly what the stance of the group was. I got told I was looking for a fight and banned. I was devastated because one of the things I'm enjoying the most is sharing my experience, hopefully that will benefit other people. So to have that taken away, I think the group is an absolute disgrace. I think the individuals that run the group, not all of them, but in general, are a disgrace. That they are running around, running a group that's got a tremendous amount of members, about 8,000 members who are obviously people with diabetes, and they're depriving them of knowledge that needs to be out there, that needs to be told. So anyway, moving on. Subsequently, I've now been banned from 2 keto groups because I am dirty keto. So it turns out that there is clean keto and there is dirty keto, also referred to as lazy keto. And apparently I am most definitely dirty keto. So again, without sounding extreme, I will never join a forum again that uses the word clean as part of its brief, as part of its rules and regulations. They are basically the equivalent of a fanatical religious order. Keto is not one size fits all. It's not cast in stone. It's not black and white. You need an element of flexibility. You need to find your own version of keto, and it may not be something that you do right at the start. It might be tweaking it here and tweaking it there. But also, more than that, I used to value enjoyment of life over quality of life, 100%. I'm not going to go from that extreme to the extreme of 100% quality of life over no enjoyment of life. That's why I'm dirty keto. Sounds like I'm doing a party political broadcast now, but that's why I'm dirty keto, because I want some enjoyment. I want to bend the rules slightly to make it feel less and less. It already feels less like a diet. I've said it before, bacon and eggs for breakfast. It's not a diet. But I think you need a little bit of dirty in your life. And I think if I was to say how I view life now, I'd say 80% quality of life, 20% enjoyment. And no one's going to change that. And honestly, some of the things that go on these clean forums and how they talk to people, belittle people, and more than that, they are saying things that will directly affect people's lives and their health. Yet, how many of them have got medical qualifications? How many of them have got health and nutrition qualifications? And the guy who was ranting at me, who supposedly is a highly regarded nutritionist, some of the things he said made him look like a 7-year-old. I referenced Ben Bikman, Professor Ben Bikman, and Dr. Jason Fong, both highly regarded in their field. First of all, he told me they were fake and they weren't really doctors and they had no qualifications and it was all purely a money scam. Then he told me the best line of all was to say, and I quote him on this, that we were going to be okay because they were both banned from coming in their country to protect us from their evil. And this guy's an admin of a group, a supposed nutritionist, advising people on what they should eat and shouldn't eat. there's more I could waffle on about, but I'm not going to. But yeah, my dirty ways got me banned from there. And shortly afterwards, what I didn't know is I was on another keto group that apparently was a more relaxed keto group. And I commented on the fact that I'd been banned on this other group, only to then be told that it was run by the same people. And they subsequently banned me from there as well. So, yeah, I'm not doing very good on the forum front. But I think, on a serious note, it is a concern that these people can run around giving people advice, a very blinkered opinion, not really open to discussion. If you don't adhere to their thing, I mean, again, just another quick thing was one person, a moderator, not an admin, a moderator, was advising a woman on the amount of protein she should have, based on 1 gram per 1 kilogram of body weight, which is a very standard kind of idea. But all I said was that it is medically accepted and scientifically proven that as we get older, we need more protein. Our body doesn't process protein as efficiently, and consequently we need more. And in fact, when you calculate the amount of protein, you should be looking, again, as you get older, it's like a sliding scale almost, but 1.2, 1.5 grams per 1 kilogram of body weight. And that can make a big difference to a diet. Their idea is it's 1 gram for 1 kilogram, whether you're male, female, young, old, it's irrelevant. Activity doesn't come into it. And there are so many factors you have when you're calculating your macros, working out what your micronutrients are. There are factors that need to be taken into account. So anyway, those forums are gone. The Crazy Keto Guy on Facebook is growing. I did do a little promotion this week and we're up to nearly 90 people following the page. I'm going to create a group so that we can get some more interaction going. Got loads of ideas. I want to do a competition, give away some t-shirts, give away some mugs, yeah, just really open to any ideas people might have, things they'd like to see, maybe some live web chats. As I say, I just need to grow the numbers a little bit and get more people on board and being interactive. I'd love to see more comments. I don't know if I've set it up exactly right that people can post on there. I'll have to have a little play, maybe join via, I've got a business account, maybe I'll join and see if I can post an actual thread on there, but that might be something that needs to happen in the group as opposed to the actual page. Anyway, I did in my mind have 30 minutes to try and get back down to 30 minutes, but we're at 38 already, so that's out the window. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to post in the comments section and ask away. Please feel free to like the video. That's going to help us no end. Probably should say that at the start and not at the end, because I'm sure not many people get to this stage. Share the video. That would be amazing. Tell people that are diabetic about Crazy Keto Guy. Tell people that are interested in the ketogenic diet about Crazy Keto Guy. I am not suggesting for 1 minute I have all of the answers, but maybe I can point you in the direction, reference you to someone who might have an idea that will help, whatever that question might be. So yeah, let's try and spread the good word of the keto low carb diet and the benefits of it, and for me, my personal interest with the effect it has on people with diabetes. Right, I'm definitely wrapping this video up. One of the reasons is I've got a lovely piece of ribeye steak tonight, and I need to start thinking about going down and cooking it. So much love to all ketonians around the universe. From Crazy Keto Guy, much love.